Animals serve a very important role on this earth. They are the reasons that our ecosystems continue to thrive and flourish. You have the birds that spread the seeds. You have the worms that keep the soil healthy. And you have the mosquitoes whose sole purpose is to make sure your life isn't any easier. All of these animals have a place, a role if you will. And for some of these animals, their only role is to be our emotional support companions, or as we know them, our pets. Now I love animals. Well, most of them. Okay, a few of them. Two animals. I love 2 animals. But any animal that can be turned into food, yeah, I don't love them. I love them on my burger, but I could never love them as a pet. The only time I would ever take care of a cow is if he's gonna be on my grill. I know that T-bone steak is going to be magnificent, but I still believe in animal rights. The right for them to be in my sandwich. Okay, enough joking around. Let me focus up. This is supposed to be a video about my view on pets. I don't like them. I do not enjoy pets. Actively, in the year 2026, I would not get a pet, except for the dog I have right now. I'm stuck with him. And it's not even because I'm trying to focus on other things or because I'm too busy. It's because most of the pets you can get are freaking garbage. Like, people even try to spice it up with the exotic animals, but nah, your pet still sucks big donkey weenie. And I'm talking from experience. I've had experience with all types of pets throughout my life, and I've had a bad experience with almost every single one of them. And you may think it's because I was a poor owner, but no, I gave them all my love and care, and in return, they gave me disappointment. And instead of me reflecting on myself thinking about how I could have done better, I'm just blaming the pet species entirely. I can genuinely think of only one good pet option if you want a pet, and the rest of the animals should stay out in the world where they deserve to get hunted by other animals and eaten. In this video, I'm gonna discuss all the bad pets that are out there, and to finish it off, I'm gonna tell you the best and worst pet to get. Now, obviously, I'm not gonna talk about every single animal in existence, just the ones that I think are relevant. Alright, so first up, we got birds. Now, I am not sure who decided that birds should be pets, but obviously that person despises peace and quiet. These animals are not designed to live in houses. They are designed to scream and make your life miserable. Not only are they loud and annoying, but they are useless. They just fly around and do nothing but scream at you to get them food. And they live forever. So now you're stuck with this flying nuisance for the next 10 years of your life. And don't let someone try to tell you, oh, mine talks, like that's some sort of flex. That is not a good thing. In fact, it makes it much worse. Now you're getting verbally abused at 6 a.m. by something that eats seeds and doesn't pay rent. I don't need a parrot calling me a bum before the sun gets up because I forgot to fill his bowl. And something that isn't mentioned enough is the smell. Bird owners will swear up and down that their bird has no smell. It's because you've gone nose blind as a survival mechanism. I remember the first time I walked into my ex's house and they had a bird cage right by the front door. And let me tell you, I damn near passed out from how bad it smelled. I genuinely struggled to maintain my consciousness. And not to mention, as soon as they let this dude Coquille out the cage, he tried to attack me. And since then, I have hated birds. Birds should not be pets. End of discussion. Next, we got the reptiles. You know, the lizards, iguanas, geckos, snakes, whatever prehistoric demon you people are keeping in those glass tanks. Now listen, I cannot trust an animal that doesn't blink. Like, these guys will really just stare at you for absolutely no reason, and it freaks me out. I'm just trying to play Xbox, not have a staring contest with a snake. And reptile owners try to be like, they're low maintenance, dude. No, bruh, they're a low interaction. That animal does not care about you. If you died, the only thing that it would worry about is its heat lamp staying on. And speaking of the heat lamps, why on earth does your pet need artificial sunlight just to stay alive? Maybe that means it wasn't meant to live in an apartment, Tony. And snakes are just an immediate no. Anyone who owns a snake is probably a psychopath. Like, let's be honest. This is an animal that could kill you if it decided to, and here you are inviting it into your home. These people don't realize it, but they are hostages. If one day that snake doesn't get fed, you realize you're next on the menu, right? But enough about the scaly ones. Let's move on to hamsters. And bruh, I am pretty sure this is just a rat with a shorter tail and more fur. These guys have to be the most fragile creatures that God put on earth. Like, they really are born with only one objective, and it's to find the most creative and interesting way to die. I swear they wake up and their first thought is, how can I not make it to tomorrow? You give them food, they choke. Put water in a bowl, they drown. You put a wheel in their cage so they can exercise. Boom, they overexert themselves and die mid-jog. Like, bruh, you can't even fart too loud next to these creatures because they're gonna get scared and have a freaking heart attack. Like, they live in this constant state of fear and anxiety, and they are so intent on killing themselves that any minor inconvenience just pushes them over the edge. And their lifespan is just downright stupid. Like, you can get a hamster and people are like, aw, he's so cute. What's his name? It doesn't matter. Roger is gonna be dead by Thursday. Like, you don't even have time to make friends with the thing. You're still learning about him, and he's already on life support. And the worst part about them is that they never die in a normal way. They can't just pass from old age peacefully. It always has to be some sort of final destination death that leaves you gagged, wondering what the F did I do wrong? Like, I have genuinely seen a hamster hang himself from his cage overnight. Bro had a 4-story apartment and decided that it wasn't enough. If your pet can die because you shut the door a little too loud, it does not deserve to be a pet. And another animal that is just way too much responsibility are horses. Like, how can we even consider this a pet? This thing has more expenses than I do. Bro eats more than I do, costs more than my little 4-door Hyundai, and if bro wakes up in a bad mood, he can kick a hole in my chest. And people are always like, oh, horses are so gentle. No, bruh, they are calm until they wake up on the wrong side of the barn, and now somebody's going to meet God because Humphrey slept wrong. A pet really shouldn't require a helmet, insurance, and a contract, dude. But enough of the bad pets. Let me tell y'all about the best one on the planet, dogs. Dogs are easily the best pet on the planet, and it's not even close. There are like 1 million dog breeds, and every single one of them is cute, except this one. She isn't very cute, but I would still love her with all my heart. And they are constantly coming up with new dog breeds, so if there isn't one you like now, just give it a couple years. New dogs drop all the time. Dogs are loving, loyal, and trainable. If your dog is misbehaving, that's on you. Or it's a dachshund, or a chihuahua. Those guys can be exiled to the Arctic Circle for all I care. And when dogs die in movies, we cry. The scene in I Am Legend when he had to put down his German Shepherd was one of the saddest things I have ever seen. I genuinely broke down in tears watching it. Now replace the dog with a frog. Suddenly nobody cares. You see, dogs aren't just pets. They're family. And pit bulls aren't overly aggressive. It's their owners who are the problems. Pit bulls are goated. And finally, I freaking hate cats. Cats do nothing and hate everything. They hate being touched and act like they pay the bills. They knock shit over just to remind you that they can. And hairless cats look like my balls. How does this thing even exist? It looks like a crime against animals everywhere. I would rather own a chimpanzee named Mr. Bubbles that is likely to rip my head off than own a hairless cat. Okay, that might be excessive. But I need y'all to understand, I can't stand these guys. Also, I'm allergic. So if you're considering getting a pet, get a dog. And if you're allergic to them, well, it sucks to be you. Also, ducks. Ducks are cool. I love ducks.